Maybe we should. Maybe we should call someone about this. No response? No response from the Colonel? Oh, look. Pliskin has changed to Snake. No response. Maybe the game's just a little jank and weird, and unlike MGS1 that has infinity codec calls for every scenario, maybe they went, well, we can't think of... The player certainly wouldn't want to call the Colonel on the codec to report on the mission. We can't let them do that of their own free will. The video game's got to take control from them and do it there. You couldn't just... Remember in MGS1 when we were on the elevator and there were a bunch of ravens? And I went out of my way to show you that if you call Miller about the ravens, you know, of course later revealed to be Liquid Snake, if you call him about the ravens, he'll tell you about ravens and then transition into the call about Naomi's identity. See, there was a plan there. They made the game in such a way that the player can choose to do what they want to do. And you can call a character about something. You can make that decision as the game player, as the agent, as the, you know, stand-in for Snake. This game, not so much. You know, this game... And maybe that's a narrative theme. That's what people on the internet tell me, but I think it's just an oversight. I think some of these things in the game are just kind of oversights. And that's fine. Games can have oversights.
The Colonel has a point, Jack.
What about the information he gave me on the Patriots?
That's a new one on me. I'll see what I can find out. Raiden, we're running out of time. Find Emma. She's supposed to be located on level B1 in the core of that building you're in, right? You've got to find her before Arsenal becomes fully operational.
Hurry, Jack.
It's up to you to make sure that the President didn't sacrifice his life in vain.
Understood. Raiden out.
All right, well, you know.
What's your status, Raiden?
Oh, hey.
Snake, the President, he's been assassinated.
What?
There was nothing I could do.
What about the nuclear strike code sequence?
He died before his...
Again, at least Snake's got his head in the game here.
He's lost their nuclear strike capability.
But that Ocelot guy obviously killed the President on purpose.
Why?
It doesn't make any sense. They had to know that they couldn't launch the nuke if they killed the President.
Maybe there's a way to launch without reconfirming the vital ID.
Or maybe they found a more effective weapon within Arsenal gear.
You knew about Arsenal gear?
Well, yeah, he's Solid Snake.
Why didn't you tell me about it?
You never asked.
I love him.
Am I correct in assuming you also know that the Big Shell's a front for the project?
You mean, did I know that the Big Shell, a fully functional environmental cleanup facility, was designed to camouflage Arsenal gear? Yeah, I did. It's exactly what the President and Ames described, a massive cover story.
It's interesting because really Snake is the only one you can trust.
So we won't have to
and
worry about any
he's kind of done a bit of like, you know, need-to-know basis, lie of omission.
When did you find out
but I
about all
don't...
of this?
It took a while, but we uncovered the info.
I don't really find him untrustworthy, you know? He's...
There's no
he spells it out, right? He's like,
then it was all
well, I didn't tell you because you didn't ask.
On that day, all of it.
2 years ago. What really happened here?
I took these photos 2 years ago.
Oh, get ready for this.
Pictures, they were on the news on several websites.
That line read. They were on the news in several
reporters blamed you
websites.
for sinking the tanker.
That's how humans talk. The worst environmental destruction, terrorism in history, terrorist action, world, local sports, business opinions.
I've gone through VR training of the tanker mission before.
Reason still unknown.
Yeah.
Serious
Well,
environmental
I doubt it accurately
disaster.
simulates the events of that
DMC cable. Devil May Cry cable.
I'd infiltrated the dummy tanker to obtain proof that a Metal Gear was under development.
I think we see a little
Shortly
bit
after I made it
of
aboard, an armed group led by
unused
Colonel
content
Gurevich
here. I
raided
think
the
we
ship
might see the
and gained
Famas
control.
again. Maybe Ray on the tanker. I can't.
Yeah, and him.
Who are you talking about?
A man that was supposed to be dead.
Their target was also Metal Gear
Liquid.
Ray.
Yeah, so I don't know. I think the plot of this game is way more interesting than the themes and the stuff that people like to talk about.
I don't know what kind of deal.
Because this is actually
All I remember is
intriguing.
what
This
Ocelot
is
said at the
actually
time.
interesting.
Something like, I'm taking it back.
Why is? Yeah. Why are these people here? Why are they acting how they are? Who can we trust? That stuff's way more interesting, I think, than people's thinking cap takes about the
How did you
game.
manage to get out?
Otacon managed to have a small boat ready for me.
That was the easy part.
I think it's just
The tough
partially
part was
because,
being
yeah, like
dragged
the
down
lesson
with
is
the
actually
sinking
very
tanker.
straightforward.
Small miracle when you
and,
think about it. It turned out that the whole thing was a setup to lure
you know.
us.
Maybe it's just because I'm old.
Photos of Snake taken by the Cypher were released.
This is another thing that's kind of funny. We've learned
Internally, we
nowadays
became
that,
the
hey,
world's
if you're a
most
guy
wanted
that committed a
environmental
crime, like a big
terrorist.
crime, but you're kind of
It was
hot,
definitely a move
if like
aimed at
pictures
putting a
of
stop
you
to
are
our anti-nuclear
published and leaked on the
activities.
internet, people are gonna
Why
love
did
you,
choose
man.
Snake?
People wouldn't look at Snake as a.
Shadow Moses
People would be
Snake
looking at those
became sort of
pictures
a
of him
hero.
all glistening wet on the tanker, having done a big crime,
I think the
and been
Patriots were
like,
too happy about that.
yeah, but he's hot
You
though.
worried
Maybe he had
about
a point.
Patriots?
Well, yes, to a certain degree.
Oh, here's more. Yeah,
Everyone knows
I
about
believe
them
there he had
except
the
me.
FAMAs, which.
They didn't
Yep, there he
choose Snake
is.
to be
There
a
he is
hero.
with the FAMAs,
So they
which we
decided
never
to
get
do
in
a smear
gameplay.
campaign.
I think the Patriots wanted to make an example of him so everybody would think twice before opposing them.
Yeah, which again aged
it.
poorly
They
because
set
in
all
real
this
life,
up just to
if we
nail
saw
you
Solid
guys.
Snake in that sneaking
No,
suit,
there's no
glistening
truth
wet
to that.
and doing a crime, a lot of people would be on his
Marines
side.
Metal Gear Ray project
Let me
headed
just
by
tell you, if
Commander
the
Dahl
modern
turned out
internet's
in
anything to
opposition
go
the
by,
Navy's
a lot of
Perseverance
people would
project.
see that beefy beard stubble mullet man on
To
the
be more precise,
tanker
the
and been like, well,
Patriots
maybe
considered
he had a
Metal Gear Ray
reason
to
for
be
it.
a thorn
Maybe
in
there
their
was
side.
something,
Hence they
you know,
attacked
in all
the
the
dummy
conspiracy
tanker and
theories
stole
and stuff
Ray.
we have nowadays. And ironically, they would be right. It
Followed
really
this
says a
up with
lot
the
about
perfect plan.
society, doesn't
They
it? Right?
immediately
Anyway.
sent a fully loaded tanker to the same
I think
location
around
and sank
here,
it.
because I'm
Then
interested
set
in
up
this
the
game as a
facility to
game,
camouflage the development of
maybe
Arsenal
we
gear.
get the shot of
And we fell for
Ray
it. Two
on
more
the. I gotta
puppets in
find
their
it.
show.
I know there's a shot of Ray on the tanker,
Colonel
and it's
Vukovic
more
and his
intact,
daughter
and
Olga?
Snake's like looking up at it,
Both fell victim
and it
to
seems to
Ocelot's
imply
plot.
that there might have
Was
been like
Solidus
a
behind
boss
all this?
encounter
He used
of
Ocelot
some
to get hold of Ray, huh?
kind,
No, he
or
was
an altered
underground,
cutscene
keeping
or
a low
something.
profile at the time.
Then it must be the Patriots.
If that's the case, what's Ocelot doing alongside Solid?
You know Ocelot. He's always up to crazy stuff.
Forget it. We're wasting time. We can figure this out later. The nuclear strike's been prevented, but Arsenal still has a massive payload of missiles to
He's,
deal with.
Right. If the
but
opposition
Onika, he
gets
said so
control of
much
those missiles,
incomprehensible nonsense that a
You've
small
got to
portion
find
of it was
Emma.
able to be
Wait a second.
interpreted as
Isn't
prescient.
Emma
Truly a
Emma
Nostradamus
my
of the new
sister?
millennium.
What's she
Well,
doing?
here's the
You got
ironic
me.
thing about
She's a
calling someone a
computer whiz who
Nostradamus of the
specializes
modern
in
age.
neural AI and ultra-variable
People
volume
use
data
that to
analysis
mean,
using
oh,
complex
they're so
logic.
smart.
How
They
she got
predicted
involved
the
in
future.
weapons
They
development
really
is
knew
beyond
what
me.
was going on. Brother was really cooking on that take. Yeah. Yeah, here's the thing about Nostradamus. He also wrote a bunch of fucking bullshit that only some of is kind of true. So when you look at the works of the director of this game, and how sometimes he says something that comes to fruition, then yes, I do think calling him a modern Nostradamus is correct, in the sense that Nostradamus was also full of shit and just was writing whatever. And I think it's, tantamount to calling Frankenstein the monster, because even though Frankenstein was the scientist, was he too not a monster for toying in the domain of God, for thinking that he, a mere man, should have dominion over life and death? Much to consider. Anyway, we gotta go hold hands with Otacon's sister. That sounds pretty nice. People would totally ally with Snake, but it is correct that the government would mistakenly believe that people would distance themselves from him. That is true, yes. I think that says a lot about society. This is what I mean. This is what I mean, right? As we have to swim through here again. This is kind of what I mean. Oh, right. Hold on. I say as we're about to swim through here again, I thought for a moment that we might get some gameplay, but I'm pretty sure pretty soon we get a lengthy codec, because of course we do, because this game is allergic to allowing me to touch the controls for more than like 5 minutes at a time. Oh no, we actually get to go through this whole room and run face first into that mine? Wow, I'm kind of surprised. Ah, here's the codec. Literally just barely giving us room to
What's your
breathe.
situation?
Wet and miserable. This place
I
is
do love that
flooded.
line read,
The
though, wet and
seawater that's been
miserable.
pumped up is pouring into the building.
I see.
Yeah, that's the
Listen,
thing. I
there's
still
something
do
I have
really
to
like
tell you
this
about
game, and
Eve.
that's why I'm
Don't worry
so,
about her.
I don't know,
I'll get
heated
her.
about it, so
She's
opinionated
afraid of
about it.
water.
I think it was an incredible game
Yeah.
in 2001. I
When
think it's
she
an
was 6
incredible
years
game
old, she
now.
almost
But I
drowned
think
with my
that,
father in
yeah,
our
with all
swimming
these,
pool.
She
you
can't
know,
swim?
rampant,
Well, yes
unchecked
and
opinions
no.
devoid of
We used to swim
context
a
on
lot
the
together
internet.
when we were kids.
I think that
In fact, she swam like a fish
maybe
until
people
that
do
day when she
overblow
almost drowned.
certain
When the
elements
accident
of it.
happened,
And I think
I
that
was in
it's
my
just an
room.
okay sequel
I
to a
learned
pretty
later that
damn
Eve
good
was
video
calling
game.
me for help.
And I think there's a
She
reason
didn't
that there
doubt
are
for a minute that
3
I'd be there.
games
You could see the pool from my room.
that
But
that
I
kind
didn't
of were
realize
meant
at the
to
time
make
that
up
she
for
needed
a
my
lot
help.
of the
What were you
reception to
doing?
this game.
I-
By the way, this
I
plot
was-
point, I'm just going to talk
Emma
over it because
survived the
this
ordeal.
I'm going to
Yeah,
go full
but my
opinionated on.
father
I
didn't.
hate this. I hate
You
this
blamed
shit. It's so
yourself and
fucking
left your
stupid.
family.
All of this is so
No.
pointless.
EE seems to believe
This
that
is
was
just
the case.
pointless, like
The fact
trauma,
is, I betrayed her.
problematic,
You
baiting,
think she
fucking
can't swim because of the
whatever.
traumatic
Um,
experience?
I haven't seen her since that day, but yes, I think so.
Yeah, this
I
is
got
all
a
just
letter
to
from
say that
Julie,
Emma's
her
afraid of
mother,
water
after they
and she
moved
can't
back to
swim.
England. In her letter, she mentioned that EE couldn't swim anymore. She refused to even wear a bathing suit.
Damn. If she still can't swim, we're in trouble.
I
Last
have
time the war in
thoughts
the
about
core
this,
is
but
pretty
I'll
much flooded.
save my
Maybe you
talk
can
about
help
the
her
Emmerich
overcome the
bloodline
trauma.
for a
You
later
want
date.
me
I'm
to
already
get
I'm
over it?
already
Well, it's still gonna
getting
take some time to
spicy
repair the
enough
cam off.
Sorry,
through
kid.
this playthrough.
Emma's rescue is up to you.
Thanks. An
But
underwater mission. Well, this is a first. Look. I'll see
yeah.
what I can do.
I suggest that you drum the map of the building into your head.
I
'cause
really,
you
really
won't have
do
time to
feel
look at
like
it when you try to bring Emma out.
as
I'm
good as this
counting on
game
you, Ryan.
is,
I
as
covered most of the core when I had
as
to take
cool
out
as
the
it is,
C4s. If there's anything you need to ask me,
the
call
idea
me
that
on
it's
the
this
Kodak.
really
I'll do
subversive, predictive masterwork. No, I don't really think so. I really don't. I think it's a good game. I think it's not the best sequel to Metal Gear Solid 1. I actually think Twin Snakes is a bit better of a sequel to Metal Gear Solid 1, but we'll get there when we get there. But you know, it's okay. It's just frustrating because people really do think that they've convinced themselves that it's the perfect video game when it's really not. Part of why I'm able to just ramble so much is because I'm barely fucking playing. Remember how much I was playing MGS1? It's a pacing issue, man. It's a pacing issue. By the way, that was Stillman. He's dead. Also, check it out. We got Iron Boots for like 2 seconds, but then we have to swim through everything. Yeah, we're running out of oxygen a little bit, but it's fine. We just got to get this door open. If you run out of oxygen, you have, yeah, it just drains your life. But as you see right there, there's a ration, which, hey, look, actual good game design for once. They go, hey, the player might be in a little trouble here. Let's give them a hand. That's nice. They are capable of designing things in a way that makes sense. Doesn't all of this basically just exist to make Otacon a more tragic, sympathetic character? Yeah. Yeah. So, just going over it very quickly. Oh, never mind. I forgot this was here. I thought this was like 1 second later. Well, enough about me yapping. It's time for Cool Guy Vamp. Listen, when someone's cool
Still
on
ticking,
screen,
huh?
I don't need to talk about narrative themes or how people interpret the will of the creator or any of this weird fucking bullshit. Because look, we got a cool ass vampire. He's about to flamenco dance all over this water somehow. Oh, we shot him though, but he loves it.
I thought so. Human muscles are quite eloquent.
They are.
They speak out clearly what a person's next move will
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
They even tell me which way a gun is going to be pointed before the trigger is pulled. But your muscles, they're different.
Are they?
This should be fun. Well worth the wait.
He loves fighting. I love a character that just loves fighting. And is creepy. And he is creepy.
You knew I was coming?
You've become a nuisance. I can't let you interfere with Arsenal Gear.
I don't even mind him being a creepy bisexual vampire. I think that's cool as shit. I just do think it's a little fucked up that he's only bisexual to creep you out.
But she served us well as the live bait for the big catch. Crazy Ivan sometimes speaks the truth.
Like, we don't really, you know... And I'm not really creeped out by that. Whatever, man.
She was sometimes.
It's current year.
But the flooding has become
Some
quite
dudes can get
serious.
it.
I wouldn't be surprised if she's a mermaid now. What? Did you really think killing
Wait,
the
now we got
president would prevent
mermaids?
a nuclear strike? Think again.
I didn't do it.
Arsenal is still armed with a purified hydrogen bomb.
Oh.
Purified hydrogen bomb?
This is no ordinary nuclear bomb. This weapon is
It's
capable
like a
of
really
heavy
big
hydrogen
bomb.
nuclear fusion using lasers and magnetics to generate heat-insulated compression. It was
I don't
a
know why
secret
Vamp
project initiated by the current president, and Sullins
knows
has
about
no
this.
idea of its existence.
Oh.
The clean thermonuclear bomb is at an experimental stage and is handled differently. Specifically, it becomes launch capable.
I don't think this comes up again, also.
A nuclear threat
To be
still
perfectly
exists.
honest, I don't think that comes up again.
6 months ago, we lost everything we believed in. We were abandoned to take the fall in their cover-up. We were labeled as killers, responsible for the mass murder of civilians as well as our own allies. And the public believed every word, turning a deaf ear to whatever we had to say to the contrary.
So Vamp actually has
Our
some,
only goal is to wipe them from the face of
like,
the earth
actual,
and destroy this world of deceit they have created.
Oh, that makes sense. Oh, I just realized something about a future game.
Insane. We might
Yeah, so
be
Vamp
doing
actually has some agency in this plot. He doesn't like the Patriots. Because, yeah, they kind of ruined stuff for him. So, okay, that actually makes something in the future make more sense. I still don't know how he knows what a purified hydrogen bomb is, but
Sounds like Arsenal's ready
I don't
to
think he really cares. I think at this point he just sees, like,
You're still hoping
you know.
the girl can install that virus you're carrying around, aren't you?
well, Raiden, you're pretty cool. Let's fight.
You know?
It's a shame you're not going to be around long enough to hand her the program.
Again, I love a
Isn't
fight boy.
seawater, you know. It's a byproduct of the microbes contained in the pool. Buoyancy is practically non-existent thanks to the high oxygen content. Once you fall in, you don't come up. Take a good look at your grave.
Ah.
Show me what you've got.
So it's video game Deathwater. Got it. Okay. You had a perfect line about a certain someone being a creepy bisexual, but you forgot it when you got to the computer. That's, you know what? That's fine. Oh, come on. That's interesting. I guess you have to perfectly hit the glass. So, oh yeah, by the way, we're fighting Vamp. And why am I shooting out the lights? Well, because he's got, like, a Shadow Clone ninjutsu. Oh, no, he doesn't have Shadow Clone. He has... What was it called? What was that thing that, the Shadow Pin? Yeah, he can do that with his knives. There's a reason I'm doing this, by the way. Once he comes out of the water... Yeah, he's swimming like a fish. Look at him go down there. Look at that funny little guy. Alright, one of the other things I was about to say about removed content in the underwater sequences. There's supposed to be an underwater gun you could get. But they just... I guess once they took the sharks out, there was no need for that. Look, if you hang off of this, Vamp will want to come over here. And you can just kind of bait him into free hits. If you want him to get out of the water, well, remember this gun we got for no reason earlier that you can totally miss? You can just kind of, like, shoot it under there, but it actually has to hit him. And that'll force him to come up faster. And now we gotta wait for him to come back over. Come on. Okay. Come on. Go up, go up, go up. It's not exactly how it's supposed to go. I haven't practiced this in a while, so it's not the most, but we can do that. So yeah, it's kind of a lame way to fight him. But, I mean, why not, man? Boss is gonna cheese you, you might as well cheese it. There's a much better way to do this that involves just repeatedly hitting him with the first 2 attacks. Again, I haven't done it in a while. Whoops. Yeah, something like that. You get the point. You can also shoot him with the M9 if you're so inclined. And you can shoot him with just about anything. He's just a guy swimming around in a square. I mean, it's not that... Look, see? The knives, you know, if he shoots you, it's gonna hurt. But we've got plenty of rations. You can just duck under him. Oh, look, he was clapping. He did his little flamenco thing. He's so cool. Vamp's cool. I really can't say anything bad about him. I wish I had more to say about him, but I really don't. He's just a cool vampire that dances around, and you can lob grenades into the water at him. He comes out. We can go right here. I feel like I was going to say something about, like, Emma and Otacon at some point. And maybe I will. Maybe we'll take the time during this kind of nothing boss fight to talk about that. Yeah, it's kind of just senseless tragedy and problematic themes. Like, content warning, there's a lot of incest in that story. I don't know why. It's also pretty weird because... I mean, it's just weird in general. But there's a point where... To Snake, Otacon refers to himself and Emma as step-siblings from 2 different parents, but then clarifies to Raiden that they share a father, but have a different mother. And as Otacon said, you know, their father drowned in a swimming pool. And I'm just going to spoil it because I'm going to talk over it, and I have nothing else to talk about right now. The reason that Otacon's father, Huey Emmerich, we'll learn that name later, drowned himself is because he was aware of the affair going on between Emma's mother and Otacon. And in his own grief, drowned himself in a swimming pool. Now, more problematic themes. Half-siblings, Hal and Emma here. Little bit further in the game, because why not? There's a lot to talk about with this game, so we'll just talk about some things and clarify them. It's pretty obvious that Emma likes her brother as more than just a brother. That'll come up real quickly in a cutscene. She's going to say something that's like a little sketch. A couple things are a little sketch. So it's a whole bunch of problematic bullshit that happens. Well, in an unreleased, what would you call it? Like internal document, an internal script for Phantom Pain. It is clarified that no, actually, Otacon and Emma, they're not related at all. They actually are step-siblings, even though we go out of the way to point out the fact that they're half-siblings. And I think that happened because at some point they realized, wait a minute, did I write like a really... Did we let like a really problematic like incest story just slip into the game without anything to say about it? It just kind of happens and then... You know, like... I mean, it's not like it unhappens, but it just... No one has to deal with any repercussions of it. The story wraps itself up very unceremoniously. Yeah, that's what happens. And I feel like they went, well, let's try to do what we can to fix that and make it so actually they have, you know, they don't have the same father. Which I think is weird because when you see Huey Emmerich, not only does he look exactly like Otacon, but we've already seen what Emma looks like, and she just looks like girl Otacon. So, like, yeah, I think they realized how fucked up what they wrote was. And I'm gonna die probably also. And just kind of like tried to cower it out and undo it. Well. And I don't know, man. I think that's a little lame. I think if you're gonna write some stupid shit, I think if you're gonna try and write something dark, maybe like commit to it and don't be a coward. Or maybe if you can't commit to it, maybe just don't write it. Really hope I can beat him, because I... Oh, he's like a bit of a cheater, huh? Speaking of, like, not committing to it, I should have committed to... Whoops. Should have committed to doing the cheese strat. Because now I'm locked in a weird phase between life and death, and I don't really know what to do. Because he's just jumping all over the place. Kind of forgot that this fight, like, wasn't completely free. Gonna come over here, huh? Oh. Yeah, I don't know. Oh!
Raiden, what's wrong? Raiden!
Oh!
Raiden!
Oh.